This is going to be an interesting video to respond to. I don't really know what else to say. It's interesting because I could relate to it. It's from Camelot331, and I'm going to discuss it now. Let's get into it. Skip it up and that up. So shout out to Camelot331. I'll have a link to his YouTube channel below in the description. I've been cool with Cody for a real long time. I actually found his channel through a lot of the GameStop stuff that he posted back in the day, and he's actually been on a stream with me and literally ate a bug that was sprayed with Raid that was dead in his garage. Remember when I had the edible bugs live stream? That's why you should sub to this channel. Hit the red button, also hit the bell, and pretty much almost every night I start streaming anywhere between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I think it is now. Everyone corrects me, but Eastern Standard Time. And I got like a bunch of roasted edible bugs. They were the most disgusting things I ever tasted in my life. And Cody one-upped me and literally had his roommate hand him a bug that he had that was dead in his garage. And he ate it. And I believe it was a shot of Jack Daniels that he washed it down with. Fact is stranger than fiction. Yes, that really happened. But anyway, Camelot331 posted a video. I'm 31 years old and have no friends. Again, I'll have a link to that below in the description. And it was a very interesting video because I could mostly relate to it. And a lot of things hit home, I guess you could say. When I was in school, I wasn't in Cody's shoes. I mean, I was a fat, goofy dude, but I wasn't necessarily a nerd, but I wasn't necessarily in the popular club, I guess you could say. It was kind of like me and Intro Guy and another friend of mine, Mike. We were kind of like in our own weird, like we weren't in the Magic the Gathering group because that wasn't our thing, and we weren't playing football in high school and getting laid by the cheerleaders. That would have been nice if that was my thing, but that wasn't my thing either. So I was like the class clown. And I was the class clown because I'm like, all right, you know, I'm not good at sports. I'm not. So the way I got attention was being an asshole. Some things don't change. I remember when I first, because I actually was kind of shy for a while. I remember when I first broke out of my shell in 9th grade was because the fact that I hated my Spanish teacher, and I decided that instead of listening to her lesson, that farting was a better way to spend my time in that class. And I remember letting out a big ass fart, and then I was known as the class clown. And then I started talking to people. It didn't necessarily make me popular, but I started. My ass literally allowed me to break out of my shell and start talking to people. Weird way to go about it. Yeah, so here's a life lesson for you. If you're shy and antisocial, whether it be in college or high school, just start farting and people will talk to you. Don't do that, please. But so, I mean, I had a small group of friends. And it expanded a little bit too. You meet other people and it's weird when you're a kid. And, you know, I knew it. Like, I look back now, I was trying to get in and be popular, but, you know, I just wasn't that kind of person. And what's weird is, though, is that I did accumulate friends. And I started going to parties and stuff like that and things like that. And you meet all these people, but like Cody said in his video, life happens and you just lose contact, man. People get married, people move to other parts of the country, people get jobs around the world, people have kids, people have this and people have that. And next thing you know, you're like in your, I would say, mid-20s on. And it's like, whoa, what happened to all my friends? Now, I have other friends too, but in a way, I get what Cody's saying. Like, you have friends, but you don't, because I even have friends that are local to me that I haven't seen in years. And it's not that there's any issue between us. It's just that people, whether they're single or married or kids or not, you just grow up and you have your own life and your own path. You know, I mean, I have 3 kids of my own, and you don't have that time where you would just be able to drive around and hang out and go to someone's house and get drunk. Not that I even want to do that anyway. If I never touch alcohol again in my life, I'm fine with it. I used to drink like a fish. And then you just see yourself. It's like, what happened? Like, you hit 30. I'm 39 now. You hit 30 and it's like, life is completely different. And you'll just like wake up one day and just realize that, like, it just slowly happens. Like, the weirdest thing about these old friendships, is you'll never know when they'll fade. And what I mean by that is that you'll be talking to the person all the time and, hey man, we'll hang out this weekend. And then for some reason that weekend never happens. And that phone call that you had with them may be the last phone call that you have on that level. Like, okay, you may correspond on Facebook or something like that, but you don't realize that that may be the last time that you see them. And it's weird how that happens. It's like, oh man, hey, we'll hang out in a couple of weeks. All right, man, we'll hang out next month or something like that. Cool. And next thing you know, it's 10 years later, and at best you're liking each other's statuses on Boomer Book or Facebook. It's a strange thing. And this is where YouTube ties in. And you just get to that point where you realize, like, wow, I mean, intro guy, you know, he's like a family member to me. I have my friend Nick, you know, I see them enough. But I went from having this like circle of friends to now it's just like me. And you're like, holy crap, I'm 39 years old and I don't really have any friends. And it's not necessarily a sad thing. I know it's part of life, and not that anyone keeps me away from my friends, but you know, I mean, right before this, the reason why I'm right now, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. The reason why I'm filming later is because my daughter took a nap on me, and if I tried to get up, she would clench onto me like and start screaming, and I had to lay back down with her. So to find, hey man, let's hang out and go to the bar tonight. Like, come on. Like, it's just not happening. So YouTube comes into play, and I'm a pretty pessimistic prick. And there are snakes in the grass. There are snakes in the grass. And I kind of, and this is wrong of me, whenever anyone tried to correspond with me, and I'm still skeptical to this day, whenever people try to correspond with me, I'm thinking, what do you want from me? You know, and unfortunately, a lot of times I was right. It was like, yo, could you shop me out? Yo, could you do this? Yo, could you do that? And it's like, yeah, dude, okay, you want to be my friend because you're thinking that it'll be beneficial to you. Okay, whatever. And what's weird is a couple things. One of the first ones was 2016. I finally went to a convention. And I went to the convention. I went to a couple of them. That was the first one I went to, was in 2016. It was right before my son was born. It was a video game con. And I met people that knew who I was. And they were genuinely cool people. They didn't seem like they had any other intentions. They didn't seem like they just hung out. We went out to get something to eat. We had drinks. We hung out at the hotel. And I'm like, damn, these are genuinely nice, decent people that, even if it wasn't for this similar thing of content creation or gaming that we're into, I would hang out with anyway. And it was like, wow, you can meet friends through this platform. And it's just kind of interesting how, like, and I think to people too, like Maximum RD, Rob, I won't name his full name, or on YouTube. I used to watch his YouTube videos, and now we correspond on Facebook all the time. I consider him a genuine friend. Haven't met him in real life, but we're friends on Facebook, and he puts up hilarious posts, and he's a genuinely good person that's truly enthusiastic about gaming and retro gaming. MN12 Bird, one of the people that were a huge influence, him in Classic Game Room. It's so sad that Classic Game Room is not doing what he used to do on YouTube anymore. But MN12 Bird, man, I remember watching his videos with my ex and thinking, wow, this guy I should make videos like this too. It would be fun. And now, you know, I talk to him on Facebook, and it's just amazing the people that you'll meet. And if you go into this YouTube thing with an open mind and not be a pessimistic prick, like I still can be to a degree and used to be even more, you realize that not everyone is a bad person. You realize that there are people out there that like you. Obviously they like your content, but they like engaging with you because they just see some kind of connection, and they're not looking for anything except the fact that, hey, Rich, you like Castlevania. I like Castlevania as well. Rich, hey, you like Fear. I love Fear as well. I was just playing on a PC at maximum settings. It's an old game, but it's still a great first-person shooter. And then you start talking and realizing that you have similar interests, similar humor, similar weird things. People love now Carlos the ass-eating chicken, which is just a porcelain chicken replica with really strange feet. And it's amazing that if you put your pessimism aside, how many good people you'll find out there. Because it's very easy and unfortunately very valid to get caught up in that there's a lot of people looking out there to nip at your toes, and either they want something from you or can benefit from you, or they want to take you down. And what you learn is the majority of the time is that that's not the case. There are exceptions to the rules, man. There's bad people out there, but if you put aside your skepticism, you'll realize, and it took me years to do this, you'll realize that there are genuine people out there that they will become your friends at a later point in life. You know, having friendships doesn't end when you have kids and get married. It feels like it does, you know, but it doesn't end. And the other thing that was interesting too about Cody's video is that he got, basically someone said they were in a really dark place, without going into details. If you want to check out his video, again, I'll have a link below in the description. And you can use that link to sub to Camelot331's channel. And now with my live streams every night, people tell me that all the time. Rich, I was in a really dark place and your channel helped me get through it. Rich, I was in a terrible place. I was going through a divorce and watching your videos kept me sane. Or they thanked me in a way for saving their life, similar to what that person said to Cody. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, I just started doing this because I'm I'm a nerd who just enjoys technology. I get a tech boner over everything. And to think that you could have such an influence on people that you could get them out of a dark place is humbling and pretty mind-blowing. And and thank you that you appreciate my work that much. And I can relate to that too, because not to bring up Mark from Classic Game Room again, but I remember being in really crappy places myself, and there were two things that got me through it. Was playing Halo 3 online with my friends and watching. I used to, Mark from Classic Game Room or CGR had the playlist, and I would just play his videos and it would get my minds off of things. And man, that saved me a lot of times. It saved me a lot of times. It's pretty crazy to think how content can be so beneficial to you. How someone's content, how someone's personality, how something as simple as clicking on a YouTube video may make your day go from being absolutely horrible to making it at least tolerable. What's interesting is that beyond doing this as a living, which I absolutely love, it's great that you could meet good people out there, and it allows you, at an age where making new friends usually doesn't happen, and you're like 25 plus, it's like, yeah, okay, you can make it. It's just not as often that it happens because you get into your own groove of life, and that's pretty much it. But I would say one of the perks of doing this too is that you get to meet great people, you get to meet good people, and you realize that not everyone out there is trying to get something from you, and not everyone out there is a bad person. And I used to think that way too, you know, and like I said, I could be pretty pessimistic, but that's another benefit that YouTube has had for me. And I'll end the video with this, is that it's changed my outlook on life, and it's changed my outlook on people, because before this, I had a pretty bad outlook on people. And if nothing else, yes, money is nice, and making a living off of this is nice. To change my mindset the way that YouTube has is very important, because altogether it's helped improve my mental health. And to know that I've made friends out there, and to know that my content has helped people, is a huge thing. It's at minimum a gigantic bonus to doing what I do, and doing something that I would do for free anyway. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. Hey, if you enjoy my content, consider becoming a Review Tech USA member. I'll have a link below in the description. I live stream now on this channel all the time, and it gives you access to cool emoticons to use as well while I live stream. Again, link below in the description. Thank you for your continued support.